All right, so we're moving on into UK4 turn. Germany bought 11 infantry, 2 artillery, so still just loading straight up. So again, just my normal calculation of what is he expecting? What are we expecting? So if he's putting him here, G4, G5, G6, G7, G8, G9. So that's what we've been saying is kind of a G8, G9-ish timing. Is what we're trying to disrupt. And so we're still kind of fitting that pattern. I'm hopeful that we can just stop it all together, especially with our significant victory here, that we'll be able to make some fast progress and get fighters just launching on in there from US and UK and just really prevent everything altogether. Let's see, combats. He went to Algeria here. We see that. He took France, West Russia, Karelia. Let's see. No units lost. He lost an infantry in France. No units lost. No units lost. So, pretty decent round for Germany, all things considered. I do need to make sure that we keep this guy stacked. Kind of looking. I would like to get these 2 infantry. I have to relook at my calculator here on this 7, 8, 9. 7, 8. We can leave the fighter there. And maybe even put a second fighter there. And then move these infantry on over so that next turn they can be involved in taking West Russia, hitting West Russia for these AA gun shenanigans. Because he's stacking here, I don't want to leave Caucasus because I want to be able to build here, and that'll help me keep this stacked longer. So we're going to have to attack this, and we're going to have to take it. So we got to make sure we take it with Russia. Of course, if we don't put any UK or US troops in here, if we don't take it, we can always bail out and, pull into Moscow. But we really want to take it so that we can stay stacked down here. And he's got, 27 units thrown down here. And, Russia's got 25, 30, plenty. So we don't need to put any UK or US in here is what I'm going at with all of that. So that being said, this tank by itself is not precisely what I want to have fighting his him 1v1 over here. Actually, we can probably move a couple of fighters. Let's see. These fighters, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? I might have a better idea than what I was going to do. But yeah, we'll get him reinforcements. We'll get his reinforcements to him eventually. So right now we are doing UK Stern. Yeah, so here we go. We're going to build 3 infantry, 1 artillery, and a destroyer just because he does have 5 planes, and we got just a carrier surface ship, and so eventually we're going to at least have a destroyer carrier and a couple fighters. So we're going to go ahead and build one of the destroyers this turn. We'll probably need one more to be, really feel kind of comfortable when he does bring all 5 fighters back to the front. And we're going to have to, eventually he'll start building bombers. So we just got to start building some more. So I decided to go with destroyer for right now. Just because I always like to have one destroyer in case Germany drops some subs in here to be problematic. So we'll get the destroyer down. And we had enough to buy 2 fighters as well. So 3 ground for here, 1 ground, 2 fighters, and a destroyer for up here. Now, originally my plan was I was going to go ahead and use my transport and transport a couple of guys over here this turn. But as I think about it, I don't know that I necessarily need to. If he comes back, I can always, if even if he blitzed a tank and hit and won and took it, I can always hit them back that turn and move. I'm going to be bringing guys down here, so he's going to have to start retreating back this direction or get hit there. But we're going to have a tank in there and a tank in here, and we're going to have fighters and bombers and whatnot all around. Fighters and bombers and tigers, oh my. So I don't think I need to overthink it too much. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead, take care of this guy, take care of these. If you see me, I'd like U.S. to take Thailand, so we're just going to take the tip there. That'll leave me 2 infantry, and our AA that can come back. This tank, actually I can move him to here. Originally I was going to put him up here, but I'm going to move him to here where we'll have 2 tanks threatening back here, plus my bomber, wherever I decide to land my bomber at. So, and if he moves both of them over there, I'll have a tank here, so I'll have 3 tanks and a bomber versus those 2, or if he leaves one back, I'll have 2 tanks and a bomber versus 1. So we'll be able to clean up North Africa that way with the use of tanks, and a tank sitting here can also get back into here or here next turn to help these defensive stacks as if whatever's needed. These guys, I actually want to land them up here with this guy. I want to have a good fighter base here so that he doesn't decide to try to take out as many Russians as he can when I move these 2 infantry out. So I think we're going to land all 3 fighters up here. You know what? I don't even think I'm going to think even better than this. I think I want to grab these guys instead of grabbing the 1. I mean, it maybe the timing would be better, but I'd rather that 1 infantry heading that way too, and we can go grab those guys. And I believe we'll be able to go to here, and the bomber goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, so we can head over to Australia and pick up some guys and start unloading the islands here. And we'll bring them back to Malaya, is that right? Yeah. Next turn. So it'll be 2 IPC, cost of 2 IPC not taking it this turn, but we'll be getting guys off of here and moving 1 more infantry this direction, actually. Okay, don't want to forget about this here. So I think that's all our attacks. I thought about using my 2 transports to come up here naked and take these 2 guys, but he could build the carrier 1, 2, 3, 4, land him over there, kill my transports, 14 costs for building 14, and then I'd be all down here, so I couldn't go back and attack it at all, and so they would be able to live. The fighters would fly off. The carrier could just be problematic, so I decided not to go that route. I could, No, I'm going to stick with my initial plan here. Well, as I'm thinking about it, I'm building 2 fighters, so I could just not go with him. Build the 2 fighters. The destroyer will have 1, 2, 3, 4 versus his 4, as long as I feel comfortable with a sub and 2 fighters on the battleship, which I really do kind of feel comfortable with that. Although that puts an infantry and a tank here. He could 1, 2, 3 infantry tank and hit with fighters, but would he want to leave a fighter just sitting there? I wouldn't think so, because then I could hit it with a tank and fighter. So I think we're just going to go with this. We're going to take France again. Of course, the one thing that could happen is if I don't, because this fighter's going to want to, yep, we're going back to my original plan. So indecisive, child. Reason being is I'm hoping to lose the sub and keep both fighters. And if I keep both fighters, then the carrier's got to move. So let's just bring that fighter. Maybe that carrier will make a difference anyways. All right, we're sticking with the original plan. Leave France alone this turn. All right. I'm just really thinking through my whole fleet placement here. Sorry, that was a bit more. I still want to put my fleet in 36 because I want them to be able to dead zone sub builds in here. So I want battleship, cruiser, destroyer, carrier here. My fighters are going to land here and go 1, 2, 3, then hit either one and then land on my carrier. So. And with that said, I won't need the bomber to be in range. I don't need to leave them in India. I can bring the bomber all the way back up to Russia or something like that to prepare for more attacks up this way. All right, surprise shot. Well, it doesn't matter on this round, but it's always happy to see a surprise shot work. So I keep going back and forth, and I think I'm going to bring him up here. He can't hit me. And that gives me a little bit of threat still on Karelia, so he can't just like completely understack Karelia. Yeah, so here he can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I guess if he survived that, I would not do as well. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could use the bomber to hit here. 2 fighters and a tank. So if he uses any fighters, I'd be able to counter them decently enough. So we're going to move him that way. Probably thought way too hard on that than I needed to, but oh well, so be it. All right. So this is more reinforcements heading up. So this is the good part about Japan being neutralized so early, is we can start funneling land troops into the defensive Caucasus and Moscow earlier. So there we go.